Good evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Jefferson Robbins. Grant Olson is away tonight. We've got a fair bit of news for you going into your weekend, but before we get to that, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. This is our Blag Mountain camera, PTZ camera outside Leavenworth. You can see a little bit of quaver there maybe. The wind has begun to kick up and as a result the camera wobbles a little bit. We may also see some strong breezes tonight, but our air quality index is fantastic. It was good all day today. A welcome relief from earlier this week. The change in the wind is likely to bring in a fairly strong shift in temperatures. This weekend's forecast is calling for wonderfully autumn-like conditions. I would say wonderfully autumn-like, just barely edging toward the 70s. With Grant away, NCWLIFE's Dan Kuntz will be along a little bit later with your full weather outlook going all the way into next week. But now a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. The Bolt Creek fire west of Stevens Pass will keep Highway 2 closed down at least through this weekend. It's a 68-month prison sentence for the burglar who hid from authorities inside a residential shed in Wenatchee. And a Beebe Bridge highway accident on Thursday sends one Orondo man to the hospital. But first, our top story tonight, the Greater Wenatchee Irrigation District, which brings water to about 10,000 acres of orchards and homes from East Wenatchee to Chelan, is considering fee hikes of up to 77%. District Manager Craig Geiselink says most users will see a substantial increase if the Irrigation Board approves the 2023 budget as proposed. Agricultural users would see their rates go from about $44 per acre foot of water to more than $78. Home ratepayers would go from paying an annual charge of $200 to $375. Geiselink says the change would update the district's antiquated fee system and also boost the budget after the district was forced to pay more than $1 million in emergency repairs. The district uses 60-year-old infrastructure built by the Department of Reclamation, and Geiselink says it's failing at a rate that is hard to keep up with. Public comment is encouraged. Directors will discuss the proposed rate changes at their October 4th meeting. Well, Highway 2 will remain closed through the weekend due to the Bolt Creek fire west of Stevens Pass. Firefighters are coping with toppling trees and falling rocks as they battle the 9,400-acre blaze, which broke out on September 10th. They say that makes it unsafe to open the highway, which remains closed between the towns of Skykomish and Index. Level 2 and 3 evacuations are still in place along that corridor. Stevens Pass ski area, which normally hosts summertime trail recreation, has been closed throughout the week, largely due to unhealthy air quality from this and other northwestern fires. As of Friday morning, the Bolt Creek fire was just 5% contained. Well, an escapee who hid from police in a Wenatchee shed until they blew open the door to arrest him will serve about 5.5 years in prison. 48-year-old Rigoberto Lycia Reyna pleaded guilty to 2 counts of burglary and received a 68-month sentence on Wednesday in Chelan County Superior Court. Lycia was jailed awaiting trial for the burglaries when he walked away from an inmate work detail last April during Apple Blossom. Police spotted him a few weeks later near North Franklin Avenue and 3rd Street and pursued him on foot until he took refuge in the shed. When Lycia refused to come out, officers used flashbangs and an explosive charge to extract him. Charges of escape and resisting arrest were dropped Wednesday as part of his plea. Well, the driver of a pickup had to be transported to the hospital Thursday morning after a collision with a semi on Highway 97 just south of the Beebe Bridge. The accident closed the highway from 9:52 a.m. until 12:18 p.m. The Washington State Patrol said the pickup and semi were both southbound when the semi slowed to make a left turn and the pickup struck the semi's fuel tank. The driver of the 2019 Nissan Frontier pickup, 22-year-old Wyatt J. Dietrich of Orondo, suffered injuries from his seatbelt and was transported to Lake Chelan Hospital. Trooper Colin Kumaravel said about 30 gallons of fuel spilled from the semi's fuel tank. Firefighters and hazmat crews responded to the spill. Dietrich was cited for passing improperly. And when we come back, Grant County health officials tackle the first diagnosed case of monkeypox in the north central Washington region. And it's job fair time next week as employers go shopping for potential recruits at Pybus Public Market. I'm Jefferson Robbins, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Right now, it costs $100 to fill this up and $1,000 to fill this up. We're all feeling it. families and businesses getting squeezed because of broken supply chains and corporate greed. I'm Congresswoman Kim Schreier, and I'm leading the fight to suspend the federal gas tax to get prices down. I'm holding big oil accountable so they stop ripping us off. I approve this message, and I'll keep fighting to bring down gas prices for you.
Football, school, cooler temps. It's almost fall. And what better way to celebrate than with the Fall Kickoff Savings Event at Click It RV? We've got to make room for new inventory, which means you'll save up to 30% off with no money down, 90 days to first payment, and lifetime warranties. With the best floor plans and many options under $40,000, there's never been a better time to buy. Visit us today on Frontage Road off I-90 in Moses Lake or go to clickitrv.com.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. A Wenatchee man received a 90-day jail sentence on Thursday for firing a gunshot toward a motorist outside his home. 36-year-old Roberto Arellano pleaded guilty to second-degree assault and resisting arrest in the January 2021 incident, in which he fired a shot from a handgun in the 300 block of Fuller Street. The motorist was not struck. Arellano's guilty plea in Chelan County Superior Court allowed him to avoid a more serious charge of first-degree assault. Once his jail term is complete, he'll spend a year on supervision with the Department of Corrections. Now, Grant County health officials are investigating a case of monkeypox in that county, the first to be reported in north-central Washington. The county health department said this week the patient is in good condition and quarantining at home, and investigators are working to identify that person's contacts. The monkeypox virus, or MPV, is spread through close contact and can result in an itching or painful rash. More than 500 cases have been identified in Washington, most of them in King County. 14 people have been hospitalized because of the virus. Well, the annual Community Job Fair will be next Tuesday at Pybus Public Market, with organizers saying about 40 employers will be on hand with job opportunities for both part-time and full-time work. Wenatchee Downtown Association Executive Director Linda Hagland is asking people to get the word out to those seeking jobs.
It will be at Pybus from 10 until 3. We have like 40 businesses coming that are looking for employees. These are great jobs. So if you're interested at all, we'll be in the Pybus Event Center. And this is a joint effort between us and the Chamber of Commerce, because that's the number one request we're still hearing from our businesses. They aren't staffed up, and we're going into the fourth quarter. So timing, it's a free event. You can come and see what's out there. So if you're looking for a job or know someone that is, please spread that word.
Moses Lake police officers, Grant County Sheriff's deputies, a canine, and drones searched unsuccessfully Tuesday afternoon for a wanted felon in Moses Lake. They finally found him Wednesday evening in a bathroom stall. The Moses Lake Police Department had been seeking 38-year-old Modesto Valencia Aguilar on outstanding warrants for unlawful imprisonment and felony threats. Police said he had been seen in a swamp Tuesday behind McCosh Park, so searchers slogged through the muck with no luck. And then Wednesday evening, they received word he was in the area of the Moses Lake Multimodal Transit Center at 4th Avenue and Division Street. It was there that they found him in the restroom. The police department said one flush later, Valencia Aguilar was in custody. Now, you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, a visit to a slightly revised salmon festival held for school kids at Rocky Reach Dam. That, along with your complete local weather forecast and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Watch Vibrant Living, brought to you by the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. Find out about programs and activities for ages 50 and over, and meet amazing seniors who contribute to our community. New episodes Sundays at 1:30 p.m., replayed throughout the week on the NCWLIFE channel. Get your body moving. Tune in for Vibrant Motion, featuring low-impact aerobics hosted by Connie Townsend. These workouts are great for all ages. Vibrant Motion, brought to you by the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, weekdays on the NCWLIFE channel.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. For 30 years, the annual Wenatchee River Salmon Festival has entertained and educated young people at the Leavenworth National Fish Hatchery. This year, the hatchery is under construction, so organizers decided to join their salmon festival with the Chelan County PUD's River Ramble, another educational event that's focused on the ecology and culture of the Columbia. The combined festivals wrapped up today after 2 days at Rocky Reach Dam, with schools from across the region busing kids in to join the fun. We caught up with Salmon Fest founder Corky Broadus and PUD Visitor Services Manager Kristen Lodge to learn more.
This is the 30th anniversary of the Wenatchee River Salmon Festival, and we are proud to have invited many, many schools from north central Washington.
We have nearly 1,500 kids coming out over the next 2 days from all over Washington state, and we're so thrilled to welcome them here at Rocky Reach Dam.
I'm telling you, without the PUD, we wouldn't have been able to do it at all. And this is a marvelous partnership that we've had since the early 1990s. I think it's enhanced it. It's also brought students to a place that is so special, and to learn more about hydropower along with our tribes. It's a very valuable program this year.
In addition to this beautiful native encampment and salmon festival, they're getting to explore the dam at a generation station, and they're getting to learn about our Fish and Wildlife team and habitat conservation, in addition to the Discovery Center.
It's really about connecting people with nature, especially children right now, and when they bring their families. But it's also to really share high quality natural resource, hands-on education.
What could be better than an outdoor classroom, right?
And to help, promote the local economy as well. But Salmon Fest is really about that connection.
About half of our exhibitors and educators are here in the tribal encampment. We've got a long tent, and we have these traditional teepees set up where children go in and they hear from Native American educators storytelling. They learn about the history and heritage of the original people that lived here in this valley. And there's about 15 education stations in addition to exhibitors that are showing their talents and their crafts and artisans.
And it's fun. It's edutainment, education and entertainment at its finest in the outdoors. Can't beat it.
Dan Coons filling in for Grant Olson, taking a well-deserved 3-day weekend. And man, what a difference 24 hours makes. We had pretty bad air yesterday at this time, and now it's all blown away. Thank you to the wind. A big-sized cold front's coming in. We'll get into those details in just a little bit, but first, a little look outside the Wenatchee Valley. We can actually use this camera again because we can see the Wenatchee Valley, and I live right there, and Mac lives there, and Cal lives over there. Anyway, it's good to see the valley again after all that smoke and haze. Pretty cool today, only 72. Now, our normal high this time of the year is 77 degrees. But the big thing that we're noticing, you see how shorter the days are going. We're losing about 4 minutes of daylight at this time of the year. And, of course, next Thursday at about 8:04 in the evening is the autumnal equinox. And after that, we start going on the other side of daylight. As you can see, 72, a little cooler than normal. Our overnight low was about normal. But, boy, tomorrow is going to feel autumnal. Wait till you see these high temperatures. Again, it's cold air that's coming in, so as we look at the temperatures, you'll notice they're going to be a good 10 degrees below normal. Moses Lake and Ephrata, they'll share 68s, Quincy 67. Wenatchee 67 is about 10 degrees below normal. We don't see this too often. Leavenworth may actually be a degree or two warmer than Wenatchee. Same deal with Lake Wenatchee is a distinct possibility. The only area in our forecast that's going to, that's going to get up to maybe 70 is Omak. They're usually a couple of degrees warmer anyway with their afternoon highs. That narrow valley has a chance to radiate that heat. just a little bit. So it's a pretty sizable cold front. It's coming in as we speak. The winds are picking up pretty good, and that is bringing in some cooler air and scoured out the skies. That's the good news, but it's going to drop those temperatures down. In fact, once this pressure gradient lifts up, and it's going to lit up later on this afternoon, it won't be windy at all on Saturday. We're going to be very cool. We're going to be very cool. We're going to see overnight lows in the 40s, possibly on Saturday night. I haven't seen that for a little while. Then a gradual warm up as we still have one last blast of summer. In fact, we're going to go from well below normal on Saturday to above normal by the time we get to Wednesday, which is the last full day of summer, and it has been a warm one. So as you can see, it looks pretty, again, once we get past Saturday, it's going to be fairly normal for this time of the year. We call it seasonal temperatures as we wrap up summer 2022 and hopefully wrap up the fire season. Fires are going to burn because they're burning in that heavy terrain, that very dense forest in very difficult terrain to fight. It's going to burn until we get a significant rain event where those fires are located. So we might not be done with the smoke just yet. It is a possibility. Outside of that, the long-term forecast is calling for sunny and warm conditions. In fact, the Climate Prediction Center said we're going to be off to a very warm start for late September into October. We're used to it this time of the year. Again, the big story this afternoon and tonight is the wind, but it will be tapering down as the evening progresses. And by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, it'll be cool, but at least we'll be done with the wind. So there it goes. Here's your forecast. Take a look at it. 72 again, our high today. That's about 5 degrees below normal. 48 for the overnight low tonight. If you're going to the football game tonight, pack a sweatshirt, and remember, it's going to be breezy. Only 67 on Saturday. It'll be a mixture of clouds and sun, but the sun will have the upper hand. But that's a pretty cool high for this time of the year. 53 for the overnight low. Into the weekend we go. We wrap it up on Sunday with a high of 73, and then a gradual warming trend up to above normal, 79, and we'll be hovering right around the mid to upper 70s with bountiful sunshine, very little wind, and no precipitation at all in the forecast right through the forecast period, including Thursday as we transition from summer into autumn. That's your forecast. Still to come, more on the NCWLIFE Evening News with Jefferson Robbins right after this.
I'm John Divis from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense. We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
Hi, I'm Kerry Condata, host of the 12th District TV show right here on the NCWLIFE channel. We're available 5 times a week on air and also at ncwlife.com streaming. You can even find our archives for older shows. We cover business and politics like nobody else. From an insider's perspective, someone who's been self-employed for 30 years and in the legislature for 16 years. You'll get it all right here every week on the 12th District. Won't you join us?
Connect with us on Networked as we introduce you to the people and organizations who are leading innovation in the region. Get inspired, engaged, and networked right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCWLIFE channel.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy finally Friday. Oh, here we go. The Cross River rivalry renewed tonight when Eastmont hosts Wenatchee in Big 9 football. They renamed the game the Bridge of Sportsmanship back in 2006. Since then, Wenatchee leads the series 10-7, but Eastmont's won the last 5 straight. Wildcat coach Michael Don says they don't think about those things anymore.
Early on, we probably talked about it more. And then as we got going, we kind of stop worrying about the rivalry piece of it. Obviously, it's there, so we don't need to talk about it because it's something the kids think about naturally. But we just kind of focus on trying to get better this week and make sure guys are focusing on what they have to do, not necessarily the matchup. And it's an easy game to get up for. We know they'll be up and excited. Their guys will be flying around. Last year, they punched us in the mouth in the first half, so we're not looking past or we're not looking through anything. We're focused on this week, these guys, and coming out and playing good football early.
Wenatchee's off to an 0-2 start after a 1-9 campaign last year. Coach Scott Devereaux says his team is just trying to get better and not worry about the rivalry.
You try and keep them focused, because come Friday, the emotion's going to come out anyway. So we talk about being focused all week, doing your job, don't do too much. And we had to have a good week of practice. We did not have a good week of practice last week, and it showed. And so that was the focus. We need to take care of ourselves. We need to do steps properly. It's all between the ears right now, and that's all we really worked on.
Panthers came out and popped Eastmont in last year's game, led 3-0 at half. Coach Don says he's prepared his team for a little bit of everything from Wenatchee.
Yeah, they've always done a really good job of having stuff in their back pocket. I mean, a few years ago, I think they hit us with like 3 fake punts in one game. When J.J. Jelsing was a freshman, he running all over us doing that. And, they do a good job. They're well coached. They have a really good coaching staff. Defensively, I actually thought they played really well week 1 against Skyline and held Skyline, who's got 3, really good college football players as skill guys. They did a really good job against them, so we know what they're capable of. We got to get on them early and not, we got to get out and get physical quickly because they got some good kids and they're well coached, and this is going to be a battle.
Eastmont's also off to an 0-2 start after finishing second in the Big Nine a season ago. Coach Devereaux says could come down to a numbers game with his ranks being rather thin.
We know we can play with them. Our disadvantage is our numbers right now. We're one injury away from not having enough linemen. Putting in some really young kids, and that's never good. Especially early in the season. So. We got to be tough. We got to play really tough because they don't have a lot of two-way guys, so they're not going to be as tired as we are. So we have to play smart and execute a good game plan and try and keep their offense off the field, and that's kind of our focus. Last year we played them tough for a half, and they made an adjustment the second half, and we couldn't answer, and they took it from us in that second half. So this year I expect it to be a tough, emotional, close game again.
We'll have all the action live here tonight on the NCWLIFE channel, beginning with our pregame show at 6:30. Join me and Paul Collard for the call on TV, streaming on our website and on our Facebook page. Another Big Nine play tonight. Moses Lake travels to Eisenhower. West Valley hosts Davis. Kennewick visits Sunnyside. Those games all kick off at 7 o'clock. Caribou Trail League, Cashmere kicks off at 6 at College Place. 7 o'clock, Quincy, Tenasket. Okanagan visits Omak. Chelan's hosting Clallam. Cascades on the road at Brewster. They got off to an early start and sent to Washita B-League play last night. Pomeroy beat up Innie at 60-8, while Waterville-Mansfield narrowly fell to Wilbur Creston 36-30. Other games tonight, ACH visits Liberty Bell, while Bridgeport travels to Soap Lake. Coming up tomorrow, unique opportunity for Manson. They'll be facing Priest River on the red carpet at Eastern Washington University. That kicks off at 3 o'clock. Central Washington Athletic Conference, Prosser shut out Grandview 54-zip last night. Tonight it's Heritage at East Valley, while Ephrata hosts Othello. Tomorrow, Ellensburg kicks off at Sela at 4 o'clock. Taking a look at the Les Schwab Prep Girls Soccer scoreboard from last night. It was Chelan and Brewster playing to a 1-1 tie. Cashmere shut out Quincy 4-0. East Valley cruised past Cascade 6-2. Omak blasted Patera 6-1. Sela shut down Ephrata 5-1. And Tenasket blanked Kettle Falls 7-0. Tomorrow's action on the pitch gets underway at 10:30 with Okanagan hosting Clallam. Quincy's at Warden at 11. Then at noon, it's Reardon at Brewster and Tenasket at Davenport. The 1 o'clock games have Moses Lake at Eastmont. Wenatchee's at Sunnyside. Cashmere hosts Overlake. Then it's 2 for Cascade and Liberty Bell. We'll have Moses Lake and Eastmont girls soccer live here on the NCWLIFE channel tomorrow afternoon. Join Sebastian Moraga for the play-by-play at Wildcat Stadium right here. Prep volleyball last night. Let's take a look at the scoreboard there. And Wenatchee improved to 5-0 with a 3-0 shutout of Sunnyside. Moses Lake edged Eastmont 3-1. Chelan swept Ellensburg. Quincy narrowly defeated Natchez Valley 3-2. Antioch swept Wilson Creek. Liberty Bell shut out Oroville. And Moses Lake Christian took out Waterville Mansfield in 3 games. On the volleyball schedule today, it's Pateras visiting Curlew. Right now, Wenatchee's Cashmere and Chelan all be at the Yakima Sundome for their invite tomorrow. Republic plays at Tenasket at 11:30. Eastmont hosts Fred at 1 while Moses Lake travels to Hanford. Omak plays at Colville at 3:30. Wenatchee hosts Eastmont in girls and boys cross country. That's tomorrow at Walla Walla Point Park. The gun will sound shortly after noon for that. Moses Lake swimmers on the road in the Tri-Cities for a match tomorrow morning. Starts at 10 o'clock in Kennewick. Here's a look at the college football schedule coming up tomorrow. Central Washington's on the road north of the border to face Simon Fraser at 1 o'clock. Washington State has a 2 o'clock kickoff at Martin Stadium against Colorado State on the Pac-12 network. Washington takes on number 11 Michigan State. That'll be at 4:30 on ABC. Eastern Washington has a bye this weekend. Well, the Seahawks will try to make it 2-0 with a game against San Francisco coming up on Sunday. The 49ers coming off a loss to Chicago. Of course, Seattle beat Denver on Monday Night Football. An emotional day for the Hawks yesterday. Jamal Adams placed on the injured list and will miss the rest of the season with a knee injury. Coach Pete Carroll says, tough to see such a competitor go down. Again, that game will kick off Sunday at 1:05. You can watch the action on Fox Sports. Mariners are on the road. 4-game series begins in Anaheim against the Angels tonight. Robbie Ray will take the ball to try to keep the Mariners on pace with Tampa Bay and Toronto. The wild card chase. First pitch, 6:38. Root Sports Northwest, a place to watch it. Houston won for the 94th time yesterday down in Oakland 5-2. American League West action, that was the only game. Tampa Bay trounced Toronto 11-0, so the Blue Jays and Mariners lead the Rays by a half game in the wild card chase. Chicago topped Cleveland 8-2 to stay 6.5 games back. Minnesota edged KC 3-2 to remain 7.5 back. Baltimore lurks at 4 games back, make that 4.5 back as we hit the 20-game mark left of the season. Big race this weekend at WVSO. Go to our website to find out more about that. Have a safe and sane weekend. We'll see you for football tonight. Jefferson, back to you.
Eric, thanks as always. He covers sports around the area like nobody else. Now let's check in with our friend Dan Kuntz once more for a look at what's coming up Monday morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Jefferson. Join me for, well, the last couple of days of summer. The autumnal equinox is next Thursday, the 22nd. That means Bonnie Orr will be joining me next week. We've got a whole slate of really interesting and exciting guests. We'll get your Monday going with your weather forecast, highlights from tonight's Bridge sportsmanship game and everything else that happened in the world of sports, and whatever news happened over this weekend. The last weekend of summer is almost upon us, and we'll get you going Monday morning, live and local at 7 a.m. with Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Jefferson, back to you.
Start your Monday morning with Dan Kuntz. That's going to do it with our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or on our website, ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we would like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call, 888-6295. That's 888-NCWL. I'm Jefferson Robbins. Grant Olson will be back here with you on Monday evening. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend.
Be sure to tune in each weeknight for sports during the NCWLIFE Evening News. If it's the Mariners, the Seahawks, or any of our local teams, I'll be sure to cover the latest right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Looking for the latest news on flying cars, robots, or space travel? The vehicle exploded on the landing pad. Tune in to your weekly tech update with Ray McNeil. New episodes Mondays at 8:30 p.m. on the NCWLIFE channel.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. Join us every week as we answer your questions on health, wealth, and relationships.
We're all about you creating a life that you love, so tune in to Live It Up.
The NCWLIFE channel offers marketing packages that help you build your brand and sell your products and services. From traditional TV ads to targeted digital campaigns, let us help you build your customer base. Call NCWLIFE channel today.